Well, hello there, Etsy community. This is Darren with Creative Photo Studios, and just want to give you a, well, call it semi-quick tutorial about how easy to use my frame mockup images with any framed image you want to put in there, and I'll show you how easy that is. So without any further ado, let's get going. So the program that we're going to use is this web-based photo editing software called Photopea. And now it might be Photopea? I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. All I know is that it works really, really good. So PHOTOPEA.com. And you don't have to worry about opening a new project or anything else like that. All we've got to do is drag and drop files in here. So let's show you how easy that is. So we're going to start off with one of my templates right here, one of my mock-ups, and this is going to be one of the single frame living rooms. And I'm simply going to take this image from over here. We're just going to drag it, drop it into this box, and boom, we're there. Now if you notice on all of my frame mock-ups, when you bring them up in the different software packages, they're going to have this area where you would expect to see the picture, and it's going to have this grid pattern to it. So this white and gray box, that shows you that this is a transparent image. So the program, like a Photoshop or a Photopea, whatever it is, it uses different layers. And so we have layer 1, and all we're going to do is take another image and slide it underneath this layer right where that box is. And then that image is going to be framed perfectly within that box. And again, we'll show you how easy that's going to be. So if we look over here, this image has shown up as background. Now if we bring another image in, and in this case it's this image here, it is a picture I took in England of a sidewalk cafe. So I'm going to take this image and we're just going to slide it here, and we're going to let it do its thing. So now when we do this, because this is not the background image, it's going to put what's called a bounding box around this with these little white boxes. And this allows you to increase or decrease the size of the image. It allows you to move it around if you want to. Left mouse click. And with all of these, it's a left mouse click and you're just holding it down when you perform the action. So to move it, I'm going to, anywhere on the image, I'm going to left click mouse, hold it down, and then just start moving, and then it moves. Now what we're going to do is, what we're going to want to do is now make this image, because if you notice it's slightly smaller, so you can kind of see the transparency boxes around it from that other image. We're going to want to make it slightly bigger than the frame that we're putting it into. So that's what these boxes are here for. So you can take the cursor over that white box, and now you get these little double-sided arrows. Hold your left mouse button down, slide it. We're going to make this bigger, and now we're going to reposition. And now you notice that we're more centered within the frame, but you can't see any of the gray and white boxes. That's how I know it is bigger than the layer that I'm putting it down below. So when we're happy with the size and the positioning, then we're going to come up here, and you'll notice there's an X and a check mark. If you don't like it, you can hit X, but we do like this. So we're going to hit the check mark, and now those bounding boxes go away. Now, just so you know, in case you did make a mistake, if you come over here to this transform controls and check that box, you're going to get that bounding box and those white boxes right back. And then you can click off that, and there's the transform controls. So we've got the initial layer like we like it. We've got the mock-up exactly like we like it. But the only difference is we're now going to change the order of these layers. So if we're right here on the right-hand side, you're going to see the top layer being the English cafe, and then the bottom layer being the background. We simply want to switch those, and it is exceedingly easy. We're going to do the same thing, left mouse click, hold it down, and then we're going to drag it down, and we're going to put it underneath the background, release the button, and now the English cafe is below the background layer. And if we look back to our original image, you'll notice that the image is now perfectly set in that frame. That's it. You're done. Now all you would have to do is come over and hit to File and go to Export If you don't want to save it as a PSD, that's a Photoshop file. You don't want to worry about saving more. Just do an export as, and you can do it as a PNG, but in this case, we're not worried about transparencies. So just to keep it simple, we want to save it as a JPEG. This is what you're going to want to then upload to your own Etsy account once you put your particular artwork or whatever it may be inside the frame. So we're going to save it as a JPEG. It says save for web, and you can rename it if you want to. So in this case, we're going to rename it to, we'll just call it England. Just that simple. It shows your dimensions, the 2048 by 2048. Remember, I have both this size pixel and a 6136 by 6136, much larger file size as part of the mockups. You can adjust your quality. You'll take the quality down a little bit if you're concerned about file size. Say you have files, file size restrictions of what you're allowed to upload. Now, if you're not, I would just crank that quality up to 100% to give you as good an image as you possibly can. And then we are going to save, and we're just going to call it England JPEG. And it is saved, and it is now whatever file folder you put it in, ready to be uploaded to Etsy, ready to be uploaded to a Shopify store, any social media accounts that you might want to do. So you're putting it to Facebook, you're putting it on your Instagram account, I don't know, you're featuring that on TikTok, whatever it may be. You now have that available, and it is easy as that. If you're liking what you see in there, you can also go into Photopea and start playing around. You can resize images, you can do some croppings and things like that. But for the sake of how easy it is to use my mockups, that's all you need to do. You drag in one image, drag in the image you want to feature in the frame, resize it to exactly like you like it, switch the layers over here in terms of which is on top, and resave it, and like I said, you're good to go. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.